by Gokhale Memorial Girls College, Department of Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics, in collaboration with the placement cell of the college. Today, we have here with us Dr. Moshumi Mukherjee, IQAC Coordinator and Associate Professor, Department of Political Science, to deliver the introductory speech. So, ma'am, I welcome you without any further ado to deliver the speech.
Thank you. On behalf of Gokhale Memorial Girls College, I welcome you all to the one-day international webinar on career prospects in food industry. First of all, let me congratulate the Clinical Nutrition, Dietetics and Placement Cell of this college for this wonderful initiative. This is especially significant in view of the fact that today food industry occupies a vital sector in the global economy, providing good opportunities to many and job opportunities to many, and providing essential products to consumers worldwide. This sector is critical in ensuring food security and catering to diverse and growing needs for high quality food products. The entry of women in this sector in large numbers is highly desirable and necessary, as women are natural providers and nourishers of the family. Our college, that is Gokhale Memorial Girls College, was established in 1938 by Dr. A.C. Rani Ghosh as an extension of Gokhale Memorial Girls School, founded by Srimati Sharala Ray in 1920 to empower women through education. And it is constantly engaged in this great mission. Dr. Otushi Karfa is the present principal of this college, under whose stewardship the college is moving further in its path of academic excellence. To further carry forward this ideal, the Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics Department of the college was established in 1994 with the aim to educate women and provide them professional skills in the nutrition field so that they can become self-reliant and financially independent. Currently, this department is headed very ably by Dr. Pratyasha Agarwal. To ensure that students who pass out of this college gets adequate employment opportunities, we also have a 5-member placement cell under the convenership of Dr. Shubham Dotto. The other members of the cell are Sri Newton Biswas, Srimati Aditi Chatterjee, Srimati Shejuti Chaudhuri, and Srimati Durga Mukherjee. The Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics Department has joined hands with the placement cell to organize today's event. I wish this international webinar all success. I now call upon Dr. Shubham Dotto to take over the proceedings. Dr. Shubham Dotto, have you joined? Has
Um,
Shubham joined?
Ma'am, actually, as I said, he's having some technical error on his end. So his mic and camera are not working. So he
So I
won't be
think,
able to.
Pratyasha, you only have to take over the proceedings, right?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that. Okay, ma'am. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful speech.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And
Wish
thank
this
you for your
seminar
time.
all success. All the best for the seminar, for
Thank
the
you, ma'am, because
webinar, rather.
yes, ma'am, because I know you are out of station, but still you have managed to be there and you have given such a wonderful speech. Thank you so much. So, on behalf of Placement Cell, ma'am has already introduced all the members and the convener of the Placement Cell, which was established quite early, about 2014, and it has been doing quite well in helping students get placed in food industries. So today's webinar, as you all know, is focusing on the career prospects in food industry. After studying nutrition, there's a lot of scope that I think students know, whether it is entrepreneurship, whether it is teaching, or whether it is in the nutritionist line or dietetics line as a dietitian. There are a lot of prospects, sports nutrition, etc. But this also is a very good prospects in the food industry. So we are here to explore that with the help of the ex-students of this department. And there is also one more thing, that this will be beneficial for chemistry students as well, because it's not only nutrition students, but students who have studied graduation or post graduation in chemistry, even they can have prospects in food industry, which they will be enlightened today about. In fact, I'm very proud of my department alumni, as all of them are today independent individuals doing very well in their field of expertise. So, in fact, I have 5 of them today, as they have agreed to help us with their expertise knowledge in this field. And without further waste of time, I would introduce them and start the program so that you all can be benefited, all the student participants here. So we have with us Muskan Ramudamu. So Muskan, welcome. So actually, Muskan, Abhirupa, and Nikita,
Hi,
all
ma'am.
three have hi, all three have passed out in 2021. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. And Muskan, so I'll just introduce Muskan. So she is a dynamic professional with a master's degree in food science and nutrition from Mount Carmel College. And of course, graduation she finished in 2019 from Bokhel College from Clinical Nutrition Dietetics Department. Currently, she is working as a junior research associate at ITC Foods Hyderabad branch. She brings a wealth of knowledge and hands-on experience in realm of food science, and she has done internship at Unibic Foods with completion of two impactful new product development projects. Muskan is a versatile and driven individual ready to contribute her skills to the forefront of the food industry. She also has a Sigma Black Belt certification from IMC Institute, right? And we also have with us Abhirupa Ghosh. So, Abhirupa, welcome. Abhirupa has done her post graduation from University of Madras, that is MOP Vaishnav College for Women. In 2023, she completed, and she is currently working in Pure True Herb Private Limited as quality assurance executive. She has done her internship from Britannia Industries in the quality assurance sector, from also Amrita Ice Cream Factory, then bioprocess. Okay, is it Spice? SPIC. You have written SPIC Bioprocess Lab.
Yes, ma'am. SPIC is the spelling for that.
Spelling. Okay, so it has a full form probably. So Spike Bioprocess Lab, that is Anna University, and Crescent Innovation Incubation Council, and also from Armits Biotech Training and Research Institute. So she has done internship from various places. She's also into journal writing on food waste management and development and formulation of new products. And she has also given papers in conference proceedings. She has done some courses, certified courses on market research and consumer behavior, HSCCP, and food and beverage management. And she has also completed academic projects and she has technical skills. So we have a complete CV of Abhirupa, which is a very enriched one. And I'm very happy to see my students doing better than me actually. And then we have Nikita Adhikari here, who is currently sensory analyst at Tag Taste Foods Private Limited in the Kolkata branch. And she has completed her post graduation from NIN. I think all of you know NIN, that is National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad. So, very proud to have Nikita here. She has also completed her UGC NET qualification in lectureship. And in fact, she had come recently to help us in conducting the practical exams also. And she has worked as a trainee clinical nutritionist at Fernandez Hospital, community nutritionist in Sahayata Nutrition, Health Education and Research Foundation, product development and content creator at Juice, and research experience she has in nutrigenomics, which was her dissertation project. So I think she is a complete all-rounder in clinical nutrition, community nutrition, food industry, everywhere she has done some work and has some experience. So I welcome all three of you. And as we know that what are the points we are going to discuss today through the second page of the flyer. So I think we'll get going with that. So I don't know who is going to speak first. Is it Muskan? Are you going to start with food
Ma'am, it's
adultery?
Abhirupa. Ma'am,
It's
Abhirupa
Abhirupa.
I'll be
will give the
starting with.
introduction.
Right. So Abhirupa, please take over, and I think you will discuss about food adulteration and also food laws and the tests for quality assurance, right? And Muskan
Yes.
will be helping with that, and then we have Nikita discussing about sensory evaluation. And I request all the participants, due to YouTube live streaming, I know you cannot directly interact with the speakers, but then you can put your questions in the chat box, which will be taken up after the session. In fact, if you have further queries, we can even share the mail ID of the speakers, and you can contact them later. They will be more than happy to help you out. As I said, they are brilliant and very helpful students of mine, so I'm sure they will be helping you out with that. So let's start, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abhirupa Ghosh, and currently I am working as a quality assurance executive. And I'll be today discussing about food adulteration. And also, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to get back to all of you, and also allowing me to discuss about this wonderful topic of food adulteration, its types, and all the laws that are involved with this.
All okay, Abhirupa? You're able to share your presentation?
Please let me know, ma'am, is my screen visible? Because I am
No, no, no. Right now, it is not visible.
sharing,
Acha, I'll just
but
stop
the
screen
screen is
sharing.
not moving.
Wait a minute. I have stopped my screen sharing. I don't know if it
I
is creating. Okay, now is it okay? It's just you have to use the screen share option below.
Yes, ma'am.
Present option.
Yes,
Could you see?
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
So just
ma'am.
click
I've
on
seen.
that and then you share.
I guess now is it visible?
At least I can't see. No, it's not. You have to use the present option and then you have to choose Windows and share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. That is how I did.
No, it's not visible. I can only see you, but not your screen.
Okay, I'll do it 1 second.
If there is a problem, you just mail me. I'll do it on your behalf. Just mail me your PPT. I'll share it.
Yes. Now also it's not visible.
No, no, Abhirupa. You send it to me. I'll just share it on your behalf. It's not visible. Um, can you start, Nima? I think it's taking some time for her.
Yes, ma'am. I couldn't hear you actually.
Okay, I think it is taking some time. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Nikita, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Nikita, I want you to take over. Nikita, please start. I think you will be
Okay.
discussing the sensory evaluation part. So there's no
Yes, ma'am.
problem. We can go with that first. And then, meanwhile, while Abhirupa is getting ready with her presentation, there is some technical error, I guess, on her end. We'll solve that. Let's not make the participants wait. It's a Sunday afternoon. So please take over. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Are you starting, Nikita? Any problem?
Yes. Is this visible, ma'am?
Or no?
Hello?
No, it's not visible.
Ma'am, now? Ishkan,
No,
is it
Nikita,
visible?
it's not. No, no, it's not Nikita.
Acha, Abhirupa, are you there? Nikita?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I guess
আচ্ছা
there is
Nikita
some
বলছে,
problem. I'm
হ্যাঁ বুঝেছি,
sharing, but it's not showing.
ওই যে দেখো ওরা বলছে যে yes, yes, thank you. আচ্ছা, whose screen is this? এটা কার স্ক্রিন? এটা দেখা যাচ্ছে career prospects in food industry. Is it Nikita?
Nikita, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Acha Nikita, your screen is visible, so you please start. Okay, I think there was some technical error. অলরাইট, তো ওটার
Okay,
জন্য
okay.
প্রবলেম হয়েছিল। তো নিকিতা, নো প্রবলেম, তুমি বলে দাও। তারপরে অভিরূপা, তুমি একটু আমাকে ওর হয়ে গেলে তুমি আবার শেয়ার স্ক্রিন করবে। তুমি বুঝেছো কিভাবে করতে হবে? ইউ হ্যাভ টু গো টু প্রেজেন্ট, অ্যান্ড ওখানে উইন্ডোজ সিলেক্ট করে তুমি স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করো, তারপর আমি বলছি অ্যাড করতে। স্ক্রিনটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি অ্যাড করা হয়নি বলে দেখা যাচ্ছিল না। ওকে
Okay. Okay.
ওকে, নো প্রবলেম। নিকিতা, ইউ টেক ওভার। ইয়েস।
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all. As Ma'am said, I am working at TAC Test as a sensory analyst. So today I will be discussing about my work, like what is sensory evaluation, what are the parameters we use during the analysis, okay, what are the techniques or tested there, and what are the opportunities you will get as a sensory analyst, and course available in India to become a sensory analyst. Okay. Okay. So when we check the quality of the food by human sensory organs, it's called sensory evaluation. Okay. So I guess the yes. So the purpose of the technique or the evaluation or the test is to reject or the accept of the product by assessing its parameters. Okay. So for that we check also the methodology used for to make the products, and the packaging, etc. Okay. So parameters we use is like appearance, okay, the color, the serving temperature, etc. Okay. So for flavor, we check the intensity of that flavor you are getting. Okay. So for that, first we need to sniff, like just of one sniff you have to identify all the flavors. Okay. And for aromatics, you don't need to sniff the product's smell, but you have to take a bite, a small bite, and you need to like place it on your tongue and close your nose and sense the flavors. Okay. And this is by trigeminal nerve we identify the flavors. Okay. In the test section we check the intensity of different tests, like for basic taste like sweet, sour, okay, salt, and also we check astringency, pungency, and umami. So what is this? So umami is like the food contains in glutamic acid or aspartate, like chicken, tomato, paneer. Okay, we will get umami flavor from that. Okay. And from an astringency, like let me give you an example, like when you eat roasted chana or amla, you must be felt a puckering or shrinking sensation on your oval cavity. Okay. So that is astringency. Okay. And next is what I said, umami, astringency, and pungency. So the flavor of mustard or raw onion is we can call it pungency. Okay. And the last two parameters are its textures and the overall product likability or dislike, whatever. We need to discuss all the good and bad things of that product so that we can decide according to the points we can like accept that product or reject that product. Okay, so there are many techniques or tests are available to do the sensory evaluation. But at TAC test, we use 9 scale hedonic test. This text you can read from your food science book. It's there. Okay, so hedonic test is we do it accurately. Like with this test, we do the assessment or evaluation accurately. So we just can't say like I like it or I dislike it. You have to mention how much you liked it or disliked it. Okay. So according to this point, so if it is below 5, we don't consider is a as a good product. If it is above 5, we can consider or accept that product. Okay. Okay. So next is opportunity. So after become a sensory analyst, or if you do any courses, so you can work as sensory panel management. So where you could manage these panels, okay, ensuring that they have properly trained, calibrate, and equipped with like proper knowledge. Okay. And so that they can do the sensory evaluation correctly, or we can trust on their data. Okay. And next is product development. Okay, you can directly work under any food scientist or food developer, okay, to create new products. Okay. And next is food tasting service. That is what is actually that tests do. Okay, so some companies specializes in providing sensory testing services to those food and beverages industries. So as sensory analyst or food taster, you could work under those companies. Okay, so conducting this sensory tests on behalf of client to gather feedbacks or information of that product. Okay, and so you can continue that product or stop that product. Next is quality control and assurance. In this role, you could ensure that food and beverage could meet sensory standard and specifications. You could conduct sensory evaluation tests, okay, and to check the ingredients, okay, the process, okay. Next is consulting and training. You could work as a sensory analyst consultant, providing expertise to food and beverage companies on sensory testing methodologies, training, okay, product optimization, etc. Okay. Next is research and innovation and customer insight and market research. Your expertise in the sensory analysis could be utilized to gain insight into customer preferences to gain the customer preferences and behavior. Okay, and might conduct customer like studies, like how much this product are preferred by customers, or it sales and marketing, etc. Okay. Next is courses available in India. So there are many short-term courses are available. So IGMPI provides like courses for 5 days, okay, in food sensory analyst, and also Coursera. It's flexible. You can do this sensory science course, and CFTRA also provided short time training programs as sensory analysis. Okay, this is also for 3 days. And for others like this wine academy or coffee bureau or this tea tasting companies also provide you short time courses or workshop to become a sensory analyst. Okay, so companies are like Nestle, Hindustan Unilever, Britannia, Pepsi. These companies take sensory analysts to check their food new products, uh, when they are researching about the planning to so you can join these companies. They take new or freshers sensory analyst also. Okay, that is it. So hello, hello.
Uh, yes, hi Nikita. It was a very good presentation, I think very detailed. Um so, Abhirupa, I think will go on next. Abhirupa, you there? Abhirupa?
Yes, I'm sharing. Thanks.
Yeah. Uh, okay, we can share the screen. And Nikita, thank you so much for the presentation. And I'm sure if like they have questions, please post it on the chat.
tell me if I'm audible? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay,
Is
yeah, I
my
think that's
screen
true.
visible?
Yes, yes, it's visible. Just a moment before Abhirupa starts, just one thing, Nikita. So basically, you highlighted on the various prospects that students have in food industry, right?
Ma'am.
Yes. So Nikita, could you also say that is like what is the eligibility criteria? Like you highlighted on so many different prospects. So what is the eligibility criteria for that?
Yes, ma'am. So, like, they mainly ask for food and nutrition in MSc or food technology or applied nutrition.
Can you just go
So,
back to once to that slide where you were showing the different prospects? That particular slide. Actually, my mic was not working. I was speaking continuously, but you people couldn't hear me. My mic was not working. And you can keep your camera on. That's a request to all the speakers. You can keep your camera on while you are speaking.
ma'am, this slide.
Have you? You are presenting. Are you presenting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because it's not showing. Wait. Yes, it's showing. Yes, this slide exactly. So yes, this one only. Yes. So sensory panel management, product development. So these are the various areas where job
Yes, ma'am.
opportunities are there in the food industry, right? So
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
what is eligibility criteria for nutrition students and what is the eligibility criteria for chemistry students
Okay,
to
ma'am.
get into
For
each of, like I'm
okay,
sure that
for
sensory testing এটা তোমার শুধু নিউট্রিশন স্টুডেন্টস মানে কোনটা অ্যাপ্লিকেবল অনলি ফর নিউট্রিশন স্টুডেন্টস যেটাতে কেমিস্ট্রি স্টুডেন্ট অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারবে না সেটা আগে ক্ল্যারিফাই করে দাও
ম্যাম কেমিস্ট্রি স্টুডেন্টরা অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারবে বাট তারা যদি
হুম
মাস্টার্স করে ইন ফুড টেকনোলজি অর ইন ফুড সায়েন্স অর ইন অ্যাপ্লাইড নিউট্রিশন because they
মাস্টার্স
should
ইন ফুড
have the
সায়েন্স
knowledge in food science. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so masters in food science and technology or
Or
masters in
food
food science
science
and nutrition.
or applied nutrition.
Okay, can you just write that in the chat box, please, exactly what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So it will be clear. Yeah, and what about like nutrition students? For nutrition students, what kind of masters they will require then for these
Same, ma'am. Same, ma'am.
same?
Like food science and nutrition, or food technology, or applied nutrition.
Okay, but this you are saying master chemistry করে কেউ কি masters in food science and nutrition এ chance
Yes,
পাবে?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is
At
it?
least NIN to nine.
NIN নাই বিএসসি কেমিস্ট্রি স্টুডেন্টস কে আবার
Yes,
মাস্টার্স
ma'am.
ইন ফুড
BSc,
সায়েন্স
botany, zoology,
ওকে
biochemistry,
লাইফ সায়েন্স তার মানে লাইফ সায়েন্স হলেই
life science. Exactly. Life science
লাইফ
only
সায়েন্স
they
ওকে
are eligible, and not
চ্যাট
only like
হুম
honors or majorly থাকতে হবে, like general subject নিয়ে যারা পড়ছে they also can apply for that.
even general candidates
Yes, ma'am.
okay so general or major or honors
Honors.
in life science
Yes, ma'am.
or nutrition can apply for uh, masters in food science, right? Masters in food science and what?
Food science or food technology or applied nutrition.
Food science and nutrition, right? Food science and
Yes, ma'am.
nutrition
Food and nutrition.
or food science and technology. Technology for food industry jobs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
And
you,
also,
Nikita.
ma'am, applied nutrition, because applied nutrition is both clinical and food science, food tech সব পড়ানো হয়.
Applied nutrition. আচ্ছা, okay. আর এটা I think এটা vary করবে from university to university, I guess so.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
এটা একটু খোঁজ নিতে হবে যারা অ্যাপ্লাই করবে তাদেরকে একটু খোঁজ নিয়ে নিতে হবে যে কোথায় অ্যালাউ করছে কোথায় অ্যালাউ করছে না তাই না Okay, thank you so much, Nikita. So I think now who is starting? Abhirupa.
Thank you, ma'am.
So Abhirupa, you can
Yes,
start
ma'am.
sharing your screen. Nikita, तुम्हारा screen टा बंद है ना? And try to keep your camera on so that the audience can see you.
Yes.
Yes, and now you share your screen. Are you sharing your screen, Abhirupa?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a moment. Then it has to be added. I'll just check out. It has been added or not.
Is it visible?
No, right now it's not visible. I'm just checking out. Oh, yes, yes, it's visible. It's visible. You can please
Okay.
start.
Okay. So, as Nikita was talking about the sensory analysis, now we'll be shifting to the sector of food adulteration. So, food adulteration is basically degrading the quality of the food products by inclusion or deletion of some of the constituents, major constituents of the foods, or the like not major, but some of the constituents which can if we alter the constituents of these food products, it will be profitable for the traders or merchants. So, coming on to the introduction of food adulteration is basically the of the food products. There is addition or deletion of substance of any substance from food, so that there will be some changes in the composition or constitution of the food products, which may alter the actual composition of the food or may not, but it will surely not be the original food product that you will be consuming or that will be coming onto your hands. So basically nowadays what is happening is lot of food products which are coming into the market are coming through lot of stages, under which during the processing stages these food products are undergoing some some in these food products there are some introduction of food components which will resemble the actual composition or constituents of these food products, so that this cannot be identified by the consumers, but it will be profitable for the business persons to sell these products. So as you can see, it is available in all kind, like this is actually done in all kind of food products nowadays, be it milk, black pepper, oil, ghee, or any day to day daily products that we are consuming. So in milk, very from very long back we have heard that water has been mixed with milk, and in chili powders, brick presence of brick powders. So the main like drawback, not only drawback, it is a very harmful act that is happening and should be stopped. So that is why there is the introduction from government side all the laws for prevention of this process. Ma'am, is my video visible?
You're talking about your presentation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay.
It's visible. You're talking about the introduction part.
Yeah. So coming back to the food adulteration, so adulteration of any food commonly is defined as the addition or deletion of substance from food, so that the natural composition and quality is getting affected, altered. So whatever products nowadays we are consuming, we are seeing why is it like change in prices are happening. So basically, the lot of stages are coming for the production of the food inside the market areas, where it is happening also due to one is malpractice that is happening, that people are doing it intentionally. Also some type of food adulteration occurs due to some unintentional kind of act that sometimes it's unavoidable, because while the processing stage in large kind of food industry sectors, this kind of prevention is taken care of, but in kind of small kind of food industry or factories, what is happening during the processing stages of these food products is like introduction, or there will be the presence of some foreign particles, like we see stones, woods, some kind of foreign particles presence in food. So this is happening due to negligence. So what has to be in place is, of course, food laws plays a very vital role in this process to prevent the act of any kind of adulteration, be it intentional or unintentional. And also in the different kind of products that we are seeing today is like the day-to-day products that we are using, like arjimony seeds are being incorporated into the oil, and it's getting adulterated. Also same with like ghee, like vegetable oil, vanaspati, we can see the inclusion of the adulteration. Like this turmeric powder contains some colorings in it instead of its natural curcumin that is present, yellow aniline, which are very much harmful and should be prevented completely. Being food science person or nutrition person, we should be really making hard efforts for it to be getting identified how actually food adulteration is getting caused in our country in this level. So when we can say actually food is adulterated or not? So as you came to know, it is the addition which actually degrades the quality of the food, and it may cause injury to your internal health also because of that. Of course internal health only, internal, and also it can be causing death also if it is that much like if the content of the adulterant mixed is not really good quality, or the like the level of the adulterant used is actually crossing the limits. So any valuable or necessary constituent that has been wholly or in part abstracted means like changed, or have been removed or added also. So it can also be an imitation of the food products, like we are trying to resemble a food product with the addition of some of products which are not actually originally present in the food, just to resemble the original products. It is also like it can be some kind of treatment, or like color treatment to improve its appearance also, or if it contains any added substances injurious to the health. So nowadays we can see all kind of colorings that are getting added into our food products because it looks so delicious to us and people are getting attracted to those kind of products. So that is a different sector though, but also in these stages there is probably like there is getting a chance of getting the food adulterated with such incorporation of those food products. Coming on to like the origin, the starting of the food adulteration, it actually there are some interesting happen like cases that I
Abhirup,
found. Like
one second. Abhirup, I'm just interrupting you. I'm very sorry. But like, are you changing your slides? Is what I wanted to know.
yes ma'am, I'm changing the slides.
Okay, okay, fine.
So yeah, so coming on to the origin, like from when this food adulteration started happening. So there are some of the cases where we found that in like there was the artificially incorporation of actually sugar water and claiming it as an apple juice. So these kind of cases have been found. Also there was this illegally they have sprayed water inside the grains to actually increase its weight and value. So this kind of happen these kind of cases have also been found, which actually is the basis of like food adulteration, how it started. People like started using their minds how we can make our business profitable and cause like also it happens because of lot of demands, because the food which are getting lot of demands, we try to sell it in like people try to sell it with lot of profits and not giving exactly the original quality of the food. So this has actually happened here in China's milk supply. We have found to have been contaminated with melamine. Infant formula produced from melanin tainted milk killed at least 6 children. So you can see how much harmful this food adulteration is, and how it should be we must be very aware of this act of food adulteration. So, in 2012, a study in India conducted by FSSAI found that milk in India is getting adulterated with detergent, fat, and even urea. And also, we day to day, like we know, water is getting mixed with milk from very long back time. But what is more harmful is these chemical things that are getting incorporated in the food, like detergent, fat, urea. These are like this can cause immense harm to our internal body physiologies. Coming on to the types of adulterants, so as was saying that there is something called intentional adulteration and also there is something called unintentional adulteration. Among these, the majority of adulterants that shopkeepers and in marketplaces that are getting happening nowadays is the cheap substitutes that are getting into the foods. So we can classify the adulteration based on three types, like intentional adulterants, incidental adulterants, and metallic contaminants. So intentional adulterants, as we already spoke about, like intentionally some kind of like non-food products, we can say, are getting mixed, like sand, marble, chips, stones, mud, which are actually not in the, like, which can resemble the constituents of the food product but is not at all a food quality product. So like chalk powder is getting mixed, filled, mud, stones, these people are actually mixing it, like brick powder getting mixed with with chili powders, mineral oil, harmful colors are getting incorporated just because to enhance the look and presentation of the food products. Coming on to the incidental adulterants, this is actually like the non-intentional adulteration. So there is not like, because of like trying to maintain in the quality of the food products in a way that there is no kind of contamination happening because of the pests and all, people are spraying pesticides in all the agricultural growing of farms and everything. Residues are found in pesticides, droppings of rodents, these are all unintentional because of the lack of awareness it is happening. We cannot say completely it is like unintentional, because if people are really taking care of their environment and how they are producing the food products, how they are processing it, if they are really strict about their environments and their processing like ways, they can actually stop this and also bring an end to it. But due to the like many shops and all, they are not that big in they are not that much like what to say, they have not come to that situation yet to completely take hold of the whole processing system or factories. There are many small factories from where food production is happening and getting sold in the markets. So those people are not yet in the position to maintain that kind of standards in their food processing areas. So for that reasons we are getting like droppings of rodents, larvae in foods, and pesticide residues is a big thing nowadays, because of which we are like people are shifting to organic food products more, where the pesticide usage will be nil. So but still nowadays it is said like that will not be present. But in every kind of processing, because of economical profits and all, people try to in like get into mishandling of the products also, for which we face all kind of adulteration all happening. Then coming on to the metallic contaminants, like arsenic from pesticides is coming, lead from water, effluent from chemical industries, all the waste products that are getting on. Care must be taken that no kind of mixing of the products are happening while in the processing areas. So it should be very strict that because any kind of food that is coming in contact with the food that is not its original properties, that is considered as an adulterant itself, be it intentional or unintentional. But this is ultimately causing harm to humans only. So this, in any food sectors people are going to work, this is the most important thing we have to take care of. Hygiene, health, all the hygiene of the processing areas, good manufacturing practices, good laboratory practices, everything should be incorporated so that this whole Food Adulteration Act can be taken care of to make it an end to it. Coming on to the secondary classification. So is my slide changing?
This is the origin slide that is showing now. Slide 4, I think.
But I have gone to slide 5 now. One second.
Now, yes, now it's slide 5, secondary classification of adulterants based on effects.
Okay.
Don't use slideshow, okay? If you use slideshow,
Okay.
then your slide won't change.
Okay. But from here, actually, I'm not able to shift to the slides from this.
That's
Okay.
okay. You just go from here, from the
Hmm.
left side, you select
Hmm.
the slide, not a problem. But if you use a slideshow, then it will get stuck.
Okay. Okay. So coming on to the secondary classification of adulterants based on the effects also. So this is another kind of adulteration that is happening in foods, like poisonous or deleterious substances that are coming into the food. So the food products that are containing any kind of poisonous or harmful or toxic substances in it, it may cause different kind of diseases in the long run. So to reduce it, the contamination, as I told, lot of kind of food products are getting like contaminated also, and also adulterated at the same time. So for this, you can see the different stages like filth and foreign matter, for which foreign matters like glass, metal, plastic, wood, stones, all these kind of things are getting like contaminated with the food particles because of the lack of awareness in the manufacturing or processing areas. And also for if we talk about intentionally also, things are happening. Economic adulteration of food is adulterated if it omits a valuable constituent or substitutes another substance. So, if any important constituent in the food is getting replaced by some new constituent that is getting incorporated, to maybe to reduce the price of the product or to increase the number of the quantity of the product, for these reasons it does happen. So it makes like it appears a bigger or greater value for what it is. And also microbiological contamination and adulteration is happening. So food that is contaminated with pathogens like bacteria, virus, protozoa, it is also getting adulterated in a form in the long run also. So for ready to eat food products, there has been found presence of pathogens. So this microbial contamination in any food industry is again a very big challenge to overcome. And also the pesticide residues presence and metallic contamination, so these are kind of not exactly incidental, but people are facing challenges for all of it. So for to make sure that all of this doesn't happen, from government there has been laws incorporated, which we have like came to know about the prevention of the adulteration. I'll change the slide. So for this, for to prevent this food adulteration act in the market that is happening, it is happening everywhere. So for this, government actually brought this law, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, that has came to came in the year 1945 for the effective control of this adulteration act that has been happening. And it has been found that the standardization of any food products for the control of the quality and also to keep the quality of the products intact, there has been penalties which the people who are actually doing performing all these malpractices in these food sectors by adulteration and all has been like facing all the penalties they have been failed. And there are charges against them also who have done such acts, as you could see the facts that have happened all around the world. So for this only, the this Prevention of Food Adulteration Act came, and it's a very important act which was actually like started by the Indian Parliament in 1954. And it actually causes all the threats and harms that have actually happened to the humans in the past were started to be taken care of slowly, gradually it came into the process. And now people will actually be thinking and considering this act before doing. Any person will not be have the right to do this, because they will be charged against this kind of acts if they are performing. And any kind of acts like fraudulence act, like mixing of water, and these are like small, but whatever the chemicals they are mixing of water is still like that happens. But all the chemicals that are getting mixed with the food and the non-food items that are getting incorporated in the food, actually causing human health in a very bad manner. So these acts came into the process basically to I'll change the slide once. So the objective that for which government has implied this act in India was to prevent or make provision for the prevention of adulteration of food, and also to prevent any kind of import that is happening, like we are bringing the food from other country to India. So any kind of adulterated or bad quality, bad standards food shouldn't be entering into India. If it is happening, so there will be laws. There is this law to that is taking care of this quality of the products that are imported in India. Also, it includes the manufacture, sale, or any kind of distribution of these products outside India or inside India. And also, they are ensuring that wholesome and good quality foods are getting consumed by the people all over, who are the consumers. They are protecting the any kind of acts, fraudulent acts. Also, they are maintaining the quality of the foods that are ultimately coming onto the consumers. So actually, food adulteration is not is happening basically in the raw material side, but also sometimes we will see in the finished good products also food adulteration do happen. So for that also people have been made aware. And the most important like step I feel for making an end to this food adulteration is gaining the in-depth knowledge about food adulteration. How can we identify, how can we make out which food is adulterated, which food is non-adulterated? So there are some certain techniques and laboratory methods that is there, by enacting which you can find out which foods are actually adulterated and non-adulterated. And it is also very interesting to learn these processes, so that you can yourself by your methods can finally make the correct decision before buying anything or before choosing any company. So in any food companies, if we are working today, we any food company will have its their own raw material vendors. So the first step that we do in our company, we basically deal with botanical extracts and herbal powders and fruit powders. So before this we actually have to find like we have the vendors who are like giving us the raw materials. So we do check the any kind of adulteration is happening in those raw materials or not. So for that, techniques which have been used are very simple, also not very like long kind of processes, but basic knowledge that people should be like aware of. So education is of course a very big milestone for making this act coming to an end in the long run. And this all these steps and how to identify and all the kind of products that are getting adulterated and the processes will be taken care by Muskan Ramudamu. She will be proceeding with the next slides.
Okay, thank you so much, Abhirupa, for a very enriching session. You have actually given a lot of information about food adulteration and also what are the different types of adulterants in different foods that are added. So, as I have written here in the chat box, that the main causes of adulteration is profit making. I think you all should agree with that, right? That is the main reason
Yes,
why so much of adulteration is being done in the common foods that
exactly.
people consume, and that is causing a lot of health issues for everybody. Will you be now discussing what are the tests that are done to identify the adulterants in different food items?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be taking forward with that.
You will be taking, because I think we need to cover the different types of foods and the tests. And I guess Sanjukta will also be covering some of the food items. Has she discussed with you that,
No,
Sanjukta?
ma'am. I've not been in touch with her.
You have not been in touch, no problem. But which items are you discussing, Muskan, for the lab test?
Just a second.
You can start presenting also, meanwhile, and you can tell me.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll be talking about the tests in milk, oil,
Hmm.
sugar,
Hmm.
maida, honey,
Okay.
coffee,
Okay.
and tea,
Coffee and
and
tea.
also
Okay. No
spices.
problem.
Yes.
Actually, coffee, tea, Sanjukta will also be covering. Okay.
Okay.
And what about besan, spices, puffed rice, and ghee?
Ma'am, some spices I have covered, like basically the methanol yellow or the in turmeric and
Ach-
chili powder. Ma'am, but like that is what I deal with in my daily
Okay.
life.
And this besan and ghee, anybody is doing? Abhirupa, will you be covering that? The test for besan, ghee, all these things?
Okay, ma'am, I'll be covering that part.
Yes, because I think besan, ghee, and which spices, if you have any, then you can just add on, and rest she is doing, and plus Sanjukta will be adding on in the second half. Okay, so please start, Muskan. Yeah, so you need to share your screen. So present, if there is a problem, you let me know so that I'll
Yes, ma'am.
immediately correct that if there is a problem with screen
Yes,
sharing.
ma'am. Just a second. Could you tell me if my screen is visible?
As of now, no. So I'll just check this one moment.
Yes.
Yes, I think now it is. Yes, your screen is added. Yes, it's visible. FMCG sector.
Yes. Um, yeah. First of all, hello everyone, and I would like to start by thanking PMM for this very big opportunity to come in front of all of you and talk about it today. And I'm very overwhelmed about this. So, to start with, I am Muskan Ramadamo. I have done my MSc in Food Science and Nutrition from Mount Carmel College, Bangalore. I completed my BSc in Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics in from Gokhale, and currently I'm working at ITC Foods as a junior research associate. So my job role consists of four basic parts, you can say, where there's market research, there's excellence, there's claim support, and there's quality audits for vendors specifically. So we'll be coming to that by the end of the presentation. I also did complete my internship in Univic Foods, and I am a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certified. So with this, we will move on. So common food adulterants and its analytical tests. Okay. So, as we already saw in detail, what are adulterants and how, why the products are adulterated, it is very important. So, me being from a food industry and, dealing with claim support every day, we also get a lot of complaints saying a lot of products are adulterated. But according to the rules of the FSSAI, there is one major difference between a adulteration or adulterant and an additive. So food adulteration is where the customer is not informed that the product is adulterated with any substance. Okay, for example, milk and water, the simplest example, right? So when we buy milk, of course, it is from a local vendor, right, or a local person. They will not tell us how much milk they have put into, like how much milk and how much water ratio is there. But if there is a product where in the labeling it is specified that no, there is this amount of, say, formalin, which is a preservative, right? Say this amount of sugar, or this amount of any artificial color, or this amount of any artificially added flavor, then it does not come under an adulterant. So that claim for an adulterant is not supported at all. So this is the major difference between an additive and an adulterant that we carry out. So now coming to some very common, commonly used foods, that are adulterated. So as I said, milk and curd, they are adulterated with water, detergent, starch powder, which most of the time causes stomach disorders. Ghee, cheese, butter. They are adulterated with mashed potatoes, vanaspati, and starch powder. Again, you can see, as in the slide, they cause gastrointestinal disturbances. Some grains are adulterated with dust, pebbles, stones, straw, seeds. So, some of it is unintentional adulteration as well. Pulses is adulterated with lead chromate. Now, just to clear this out, what does lead chromate do in pulses? So, lead chromate makes the pulses look lush and fresh. Okay. So, a lot of local vendors, what they do is after the pulses are, harvested and before bringing it out to the market, they make a 3% solution of lead chromate and dip the whole pulses in that. So that is what gives it that lush color, and it makes it look fresh. And the and so that is an adulterant. So that causes stomach disorders and toxicity of lead in the body. Coffee powder, chicory, tamarind seed powder. Again, here there is a difference, especially here in the south. Chicory is asked in coffee because it says that it makes the coffee very strong. Okay, so provided it is mentioned on the label that this much amount of chicory is there, then only it will be considered as an adulterant, like as an additive. If it is not mentioned and then you get chicory in the coffee, then it is like surely an adulterant. Tea, it is with iron particles or iron ferrings, which causes liver disorders. Sugar is, sugar, especially sugar powder. This is adulterated with chalk powder, washing soda, urea, and and so forth, which also causes stomach disorders and kidney failure. Because of urea, kidney diseases, kidney failures are prominent. Pepper with dry papaya seeds and blackberries. So this causes severe allergic reactions if the person is not aware. Edible oil is adulterated with mineral oil, castor oil, argan oil being the most famous. So there was a test. I remember there was a study that was done when I was doing my dissertation project, where all those tin cans, if you all remember, that was there, that used to be sold in local shops. Most of it was adulterated with argan oil. So argan oil, basically, most of the mustard oil is adulterated with argan oil because it looks very yellowish and it gives a very strong smell to it. So like as normally we take the smell, look at the color, and say, okay, this is good oil. So to prove that, this adulteration is done. Coming to the next slide, turmeric powder. Turmeric powder, as we all saw, the methanol yellow dye, the pesticide residue, sawdust, arsenic, lead metals. So arsenic and lead metals, they fall into it during the preparation, like from turmeric to turmeric powder. Okay, during the processing, if the quality is not well maintained of the whole process, then the adulteration comes in. Chili and coriander powders have red brick powder, rhodamine dye, red dye, and all these. Again, coming to where it is all dyes and everything. First of all, FSSAI has a whole list of artificial colors and flavors, as well as ISO, where they have literally shared what are the dyes you can use, what are the flavors you can use. So, so the two pointers here being, you have to follow the FSSAI and ISO guide to use what color and flavor if you are using. Second, it should be mentioned clearly on the label saying added, additional, or artificial color and flavor. So it can cause stomach disorders, cancer, stomach disorders. And yeah, sorry, that was a repetition. It causes metal toxicity. And then honey, again, like the purity of honey is most discussed, right, with the various brands and other things coming into play. So honey is usually adulterated with molasses, dextrose, sugar, or corn syrup, which also causes stomach disorders. Now coming to adulteration in milk. So these adulteration tests are very, very simple, easy to do at home tests. And this is given in the DART book. I think you all might have heard about it. DART, you all can download. I will forward this PPT to ma'am. The link is below in the reference. So it is in the DART book, and we in the industries also do these tests for our vendors. When we go for quality audit to a vendor who supplies us with raw materials, we do these tests, every half yearly, to make sure that they are maintaining the quality. So if they are mixing water and milk, say suppose, right, what we do is we take a steel plate and then we drop the water from the top. So if the milk is pure or it is not adulterated with water, it's supposed to leave a trail mark because milk is supposed to have that effect. But if it just falls without a trail mark, as you can see in the picture as well, then it is definitely adulterated. Then there is detergents in milk. There is again a very simple test that like when I personally work with a lot of chips and biscuit brands in ITC, that is the Sunfeast range and the Bingo range. So in the Sunfeast range, a lot of milk powders is used, and a lot of vendors do tend to mix some detergent, some starch powders at times. So there is this compulsory test that we do is you mix it with water and give it to like a rigorous shake you give it. So depending on the amount of foam it creates, you can at least get an idea if it's adulterated or not. Further, you need to go with other tests to confirm it. So then starch in milk, again a very simple test, that is iodine. So you take 2 to 3 ml, you boil it, let it cool, and then you add 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution. If it forms a blue color, there is starch present. Now, from the above table, when you all saw that a lot of products are adulterated with starch, with mashed potatoes, for all such products, the iodine test is same and it's there. Coming to the next, as I said, arginine oil. Now, this test, you take a very dry test tube because you're taking oil, and then you add 0.5 ml of oil in it. Then you take 2 ml of methanol and you follow it by 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid. You're supposed to get a crimson red precipitate. You all can try this and it works. So, adulteration of sugar. Now, sugar is often adulterated with chalk powder, which again, if you start mixing sugar in water and try to dissolve it, the chalk powder will just float on the top and it will not dissolve. Further, post that, you need to, just filter it, and then you need to feel the porousness. Because even if sugar is not dissolved, being in water for a long time will make it very slippery. Whereas chalk powder will not be slippery and you'll feel that porous texture. Then comes urea. For urea, we take again some sugar in water. We heat it until it is completely dissolved. We keep it in we keep it in a fridge for some time, and then you smell it. There will be an ammonia smell coming out of it, a pungent aroma basically, and that shows the adulteration of sugar. And starch, again, there is the same test involved, which is iodine, where you boil it and then you add 2 to 3 drops of iodine, and the blue coloration is visible or seen. Then you come to adulteration of maida or atta. So this is something that we deal with the most. Now in food industries, what happens is when you're using maida or you're using atta, the vendor who will supply us with the atta brings it in big quantities, like 500 bags each of like 50 kgs. So in some bags they tend to mix starch, they tend to mix urea, they tend to mix detergents. So the first test that is done is sieving, where we sieve for any any insects are there, any weevils are there. The second test that is done is called the drink test, where you just take some amount of maida. We usually take 45 grams and dissolve it in 450 ml of water, and we let it rest. So what happens is the maida is supposed to rest at the bottom of the test tube or the beaker, and there's supposed to be a milky white solution uh, floating on top. Now there, if it is not going down, if it is not settling, that means there is chalk powder in it. Okay, if there is starch, then it will the milky white solution will become like a corn flour slurry. It will be very thick, so that is another indication. And if there is a detergent, when you start mixing it, it's going to foam up. So these are the indications. So now coming to adulteration with honey. So which is again very common, right? We talk about it a lot. So basically honey, when you add it to a glass of water, without continuous stirring it, it's not supposed to dissolve, it's supposed to settle down, uh, like the pure honey. Okay, so that shows it is non-adulterated. But if it completely dissolves without you even stirring it even a little bit, that means it is adulterated with sugar syrup. Then coming to coffee, I think I've covered chicory because it's the most common, but with a note that chicory, if it is only considered as an adulterant if it is not mentioned in the label. So if you take a glass of water and then you add chicory, and pure coffee powder is supposed to float on top. It will not immediately color the whole glass of water, but if it colors the whole glass of water, then definitely chicory seeds are added. Coming to I think again this is for tea and coffee together. If there are iron fillings involved in it, you just take a magnet all over it, and then the iron pieces will stick to it. Okay, if there is tamarind seed involved, as you can see, for pure tea leaves, okay, if there's like pure tea and then adulterated tea, it will give tamarind seeds will give a like an immediate bland color. The color will not be very what do you call it? It won't be very stabilized. Okay, because on top, the color will start coming out, and slowly the color is going to spread throughout the tea. So I'm not using my pointer, but this slide, this portion here shows you that the pure tea leaves, and this side of the slide shows you the adulterated ones. So then following to the next slide. Yeah. So we have some spices as I told you. So in chili powder, usually, if there is iron fillings or there is, sawdust in it involved, it is adulterated with sawdust, then it is going to float on top. But if there is no sawdust, then the chili powder is supposed to settle below. Same again with tamarind. Tamarind also is there, tamarind most common is sorry, not tamarind, I mean the turmeric. There is a lot of methanol yellow dye. So sorry, there's a spelling error there, it's turmeric. So in turmeric what happens is, if there's methanol yellow involved, the whole glass will just immediately turn pure yellow. Okay. So if it like, because you're just taking a small amount and you're adding to a full glass of water, pure turmeric will take some time to leave the color. So that is one important point. So yes, another important portion here is, since ma'am informed me that a lot of chemistry students are here. Okay. So I would like to talk to you all about the FMCG sector in general. So FMCG sector is a fast moving consumer goods. Okay. That means if you take it to the market, it will immediately finish off. That's why fast moving consumer goods. Okay. So what is involved here is all the body care products like your soap, shampoos, cosmetics, creams, food. Okay. Processed food, ready to eat foods. Everything comes under the FMCG sector. Now, for the food science students or clinical nutrition or nutrition students, you all need to go to the food and the agro industries, that are there, and they will take you as food technologists, food science students, nutrition students, and the requirement is post graduation. For most industries, graduation students are taken, but again, they're taken into chemist or entry level roles, okay, not at a higher level roles. So you can see the examples. You can see certifications that food tech students need to do or food science students need to do. That is FOSTAC, HACCP training, food safety management systems, quality management systems. Okay, and for non-food students or non-food background students, for example chemistry, you all will definitely get opportunities in body care, home and hygiene, cosmetics. Okay, like for what we were talking about, the quality control or quality department, say say a company is making a shampoo. Okay, so the shampoo is again manufactured in a large quantity in industries like in factories. So those factories will have quality control professionals. Now, those quality control professionals will not be food people because we have no idea on what products they are using. So they will prefer somebody who has an experience in chemistry. Okay, so y'all can apply there. HACCP is one common for all factories, so you can do those courses, and even quality management systems. And one common certification that both of you all can do, both the fields there, is Six Sigma certification, which basically talks about how you can minimize the losses of different kinds. So you'll be working on projects to minimize losses, minimize, like if there's laminate loss being there. Laminate is like the chips packet, right? If there's a lot of wastage going on there, so you will be involved in those kind of projects. If there's new techniques to be identified, right, new techniques to be applied in the industry, those projects, new lines being started, so all those projects you'll be involved in it. There is ISO certification also that both of you all can do. It will vary with on which products you want to do. And project management certification, again, you'll be involved in new projects. Okay, for example, if say ITC, okay, just for an example, ITC wants to start a new factory, so there a whole project team will be hired who will be working on that project only. So all these roles you all can apply. So thank you so much. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Muskan, for such a wonderful presentation. Really, your presentation was really enlightening, very nice. In fact, I was also learning a lot from that, and it was very well organized as well. Okay, one thing, I think a lot of queries have come, lots of questions are there in the chat box. So I have been sifting through that with the help of my student volunteers. The thing is that before I go on to queries, one common thing which everybody is asking, and I think I also had requested all of you to do that. Please speak about your own journey. I think all of you can have
Yes,
your
ma'am.
camera on, and
Uh,
please discuss with the participants. They all want to know your journey, like how you completed your graduation, and then how did you decide that you want to go into food industry? When did you decide that, and then what preparations you have done for that? Did you face any challenges? Did you give any competitive exams for that, or did you get placed directly? Did you have a campus placement? So these are common queries. So if you could discuss your own career journey with them.
Ma'am, just 1 minute before I answer that, I think I did see a lot of questions here on students wanting to know about after BSc what chances they have
Yes.
in the
We'll
jobs.
take up the questions, Muskan. We'll take up the questions. But first, you please answer that, your own career journey. Then we can take up the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so basically, my career journey actually, like, ma'am, I should be thankful to you because
No,
during
why?
the COVID time, I remember when, ma'am, we were doing all those dietary calls and everything. That was when I started trying new things to put it on the menu. And that's when I actually realized maybe I'm interested in this part of food. This part of the industry, and that was when I researched the entire industry in that way, which
So are you
actually made me
thanking
choose.
me or are you thanking Corona?
No, ma'am, you. So, ma'am, that's when actually, like I said, that's when I started searching about this part of the industry, and hence I chose food science and nutrition. So, one big challenge I think all my friends will also agree with is, uh, like, ma'am, when we are doing nutrition, we have so much knowledge about, okay, this has more, this affects the body in a negative way, and this affects the body in a positive way, right? Like different products, for example, palm oil, palmolene oil. So when you start learning about food science or in the food industries, you have to keep an open mind to accept, okay, this is what is being used, why is it being used, what is the processing method. So that did take some time for me personally, and yeah, that was one major challenge.
So
Another thing,
basically, in the graduation level, you had made up your mind that you want to go for a food industry line.
yes,
You had
ma'am.
decided that
Yes,
line. Okay. So then,
yes.
like, did you start searching for the courses you need to take up after that, or what competitive exams you need to clear?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so basically, in the food industry sector, there is no competitive exam as such. But yes, you need a master's degree in food science and nutrition, food science and technology, or any food science related, fields, because you need a master's degree to get into the industry as such. My placement again was done. It was facilitated by the college. Like we met HRs and we connected with them, and
Okay.
yes, so we need to follow up with them every
So
here
in
and there.
Mount Carmel College, you have placement opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. We have
Oh,
placement opportunities, ma'am.
right,
But
right.
in my time, since it was immediately after the corona time, the companies were not coming for placement, but they facilitated our interaction with different HRs. And we could
Okay.
connect to those HRs on LinkedIn. And we can keep, like, I'm talking to them about if there's any opportunity, if there's anything to, like, where we can apply. And that is how I landed up with this role as well.
Okay, thank you. Anything else you want to add on, Muskan?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so after everything, like now when I think about, as I was saying, ma'am, there was a lot of questions where I saw that only food tech students are taken into food industries. But ma'am, coming into the industry, I can say that is not true. I think we are very much, we need to come up to them and we need to able to be like, we need to be able to tell them how much we know about the food science industry, like how much we have the knowledge, and they do give an opportunity. That is something there. They do prefer food tech students, engineering students, because there's a lot of technical factors involved. But in research, and in quality control, there's huge opportunity for food science students as well.
food science students and even life science, as you were saying,
Yes.
biotechnology,
Yes, ma'am,
biochemistry, or
definitely.
chemistry students.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Ma'am,
they will have
microbiology is a big part as well.
microbiology for quality analysis, for
Yes, ma'am.
quality control.
Microbiology, ma'am, it comes separately as an entire department, ma'am, because
Mhm.
every industry has a shelf life study going on for their own
Right.
products. So, ma'am, they have a different department for microbiology
Absolutely.
altogether.
So, what is the qualification like post graduation in
Ma'am, MSc,
microbiology?
yes, ma'am. Post
Post
graduation in
graduation in
microbiology.
microbiology will be required for joining the microbiology department.
Microbiology, yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Muskan. So,
Thank you.
Nikita, could you share your journey? In fact, I have specific questions for you. I'll just come to that. But before that, if you could share your career journey.
Okay, so after my BSc, so like I was determined I have to get into NIN. So I prepared a lot to crack that exam. And after going to NIN, like I knew a lot of fields, not only like dietitian or nutritionist or food technologist. It can be nutrition and communication. It can be nutrigenomics. It can be food chemistry, food microbiology, drug safety, like many things. Like this sensory analyst. So, and if you ask me like any challenges I face, so I would say no. Like in NIN or at Tactis, like people are so nice. We learned everything so nicely. People are so humble.
So,
So
could you
like
share your journey? Could you share your journey? Like, why did you choose clinical nutrition and dietetics in the first place for graduation?
okay, because I wanted to become a dietitian when I was in
Because
12th
you
standard.
want to, so this is the common thing, in
Yes,
school
yes,
level, and everybody relates nutrition only to becoming a dietitian, right?
yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so if the participants who are you can just go to our college website and departmental page, and you can see the scope that nutrition students actually have. It's not just becoming a dietitian. There is so much job
So
prospects
many.
in
So
clinical
yes,
nutrition
ma'am.
dietetics. Yes, but today, since we are concentrating on food industry portion, so then what made you change your mind? That
So
okay, I will be a
actually,
dietitian.
yes, actually, when I was in first year of MSc, one of our senior took her dissertation topic in food development. So she used to call us for the sensory evaluation. So she gave us some training, like the semi trained analyst. So from that time, the interest grew up. And also in NN, we have a portion of sensory evaluation in our syllabus. So I have like small interest. So that in that way I decided. And also like how I getting into tactics. So my roommate was like with tactics for few years, so she suggested me to get into this field.
Okay, so like, did you have placement drive in your
No, no,
campus?
no, and I
How
doesn't
did you
give it.
approach that test? Like,
Okay,
you
I
just
can.
came to know about it from her, and then you applied,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
and then you had the interview and everything. So there are
Yes.
specific questions for you that I'll go to that straight away. What is the criteria to become a sensory analyst?
It can be like this small courses or this workshop, or if you should have that food science knowledge, or a BSc or MSc level degree.
I think
Any
MSc is mandatory. BSc mone hoy na nebe. BSc মানে গ্র্যাজুয়েট
BSc,
স্টুডেন্টকে অ্যাজ এ সেন্সরি অ্যানালিস্ট
BSc,
দেওয়া হয় আই ডোন্ট
like
নো
yes, like in my team, some of them are joined from your students. So like they are beginners, so we can take them as a beginner tester. But
রাইট
like yes,
বাট দেন উইল দে বি ওয়ার্কিং দেয়ার মানে ধরো ওরা চাকরি করতে চায় সেই চাকরিটা কিভাবে
তখন the post graduation ওরা চায়।
রাইট ওটাই আমি বলছি
Yes,
minimum post graduation
post
is required
graduation. Yes, ma'am.
otherwise what will happen is even if they get the job যেটা হবে তোমার growth will
Yes,
be
ma'am. They will not get any
growth
promotion.
will be slow so এই জন্যই post graduation হলে ভালো হয় আর কি okay then another question for you is what competitive exams need to be cleared to become a sensory analyst is there any competitive exam
No, no, no,
no,
no.
no competitive exam is required. And after PG, how to apply for a sensory analyst job?
Okay, so like they release the recruitment process or the, you know, so like there is nothing called exam. Any they don't give any like take any exams. So you have to directly connect with the companies.
So they will directly connect with tactics, like they apply online, or they go to the centers and speak to them.
No, online, ma'am, online.
Okay, so they have a website.
Yes,
They can
ma'am.
apply online. So could you just share the link to the website of Tactist with
Okay, I
everybody
will
in the
I will
chat?
share with you, ma'am.
Oh, you share it with me in the chat box. I'll just share it with the participants then. The link
Okay.
to a website of Tactist, because many of them are interested, and also they want to know that how to apply for internship at Tactist or in
Okay,
any other
then
company, or any other company as a sensory analyst, like how to apply for internship.
I don't know about other companies, but at Tactis we need to talk to the CEO actually.
Okay, so ultimately, whether it's job or whether it's internship, you have to speak to the company. So you apply
Yes,
online, as you were saying. Okay, so
yes,
just
ma'am.
give me the link to the website. I'll share it with the participants.
Okay.
Thank you, Nikita. And Abhirupa, could you share your career journey? What kind of problems you faced during graduation level? When did you decide? Abhirupa, you're there? Yeah. So when did you decide? Like, why did you take up first of all clinical nutrition? Because that is a major course. Many people think that a major, it was, yes, in your time it was a major course, now it is honors with
Yes.
core professional. But many people have this mind block that major course, you will not have much opportunities. So why did you take it up?
No, my when I did research about major and honors, it really is not making a very big difference that I found. That is why I chose major. And also, we are eligible to apply anywhere in India for our post graduation after pursuing this course from Gokhale Memorial Girls College. And I chose clinical nutrition and dietetics because from like my completing my 10 plus 2 onwards, I was much inclined towards biology related fields. So biology related fields, and also mostly in like food biology that we had in 10 plus 2, we will not have that much vast syllabus or anything, but very small introductions in about the food biology, food microbiology, very small introduction. So those areas will kind of fascinate me and like arise a lot of interest to know more about it. So I found, and nutrition is also related with all about food science. It's not about just counting calories and giving a diet chart to a person. It's all about knowing the food world and diving more into food science to it. So initially,
You
I was driven
chose
for
clinical nutrition. What was your idea that what kind of career prospect you will have?
So when I joined clinical nutrition, I did a research like future what scopes can I get. So obviously, first comes that we can go for hospital dietitian roles, and also there are a lot of opportunities in other dietitian sectors like sports nutrition is there, and all different kind of nutritional openings that are there. Not like all kind of health fitness sectors. So those are all there only. And apart from dietitian course also, clinical nutrition also involves the dietetics parts, which includes a vast study of food science also that we had in our. It
So
was
you
very useful.
ultimately, yeah, ultimately you developed interest in food science part, right?
Yes, the whole 3 years course was very useful for me because that is the stage where I actually understood I have a lot of like growing interest in food science and like quality analysis and all those sectors. So that we had in our last semester. So that course was very beneficial for
Which
making me realize
paper
that I
you
have.
had? Which paper was it in the last semester? Because I
The
really
food.
can't recall with so much of change in syllabus.
Yes, it was
Food
the
safety,
ma'am, food safety and quality. It was.
yes,
Food safety quality.
quality
You had it in
management. Yeah.
second year,
From
I
that
think.
time, I grew an interest like, okay, there is opportunity. If I go in this field, there is opportunity for food safety analyst, food safety officer. There is
Right.
actually a lot of scope. And I also wanted to venture because clinical nutrition, we did 3 years of course. And also wanted to know about how the food sectors is working now, like the food processing sectors, what changes are coming. Because if we both blend food technology or food processing along with clinical nutrition, we get a more variety of knowledge towards it, like how our body, like for nutrition it's like how our body will work towards the food that we are taking, but what food we are taking, that will be coming from the knowledge of food science and food technology
I
if we are
think you
not aware.
also got the opportunity to attend some workshops and seminars and counseling sessions, career counseling sessions related to food industry,
Yes,
if I'm not
actually
mistaken.
yes, ma'am. Actually, during my post graduation courses, there used to be happening in our college a lot of webinars and conferences. They will push us to really attend all of those, and we'll take it up very those all were very interesting and interactive sessions. So we came to know a lot about, and they will also in my college they will also give lot of importance to nutrition and food technology together,
In
because
your post graduation, you're
yes,
saying.
my post graduation.
Right.
Not
So
only it
in
was
your, so in your
yes,
post graduation, before you went for post graduation, you knew that you want to go into this line, right?
yes, after
Or is it
clinical
after?
nutrition, I was looking for food technology courses.
Right. So then you took up this course. What was your post graduation in, as you said earlier?
Food technology and management.
Food technology and management. And you have done it from?
I've done it under Madras University MOP Vaishnav College.
So you particularly selected this course because you had this idea that okay, I want to go into food industry. And after that, did you have to clear any competitive exams or something to get to the
there
company you're
is
working
there is
now?
actually provision for clearing competitive exams if any person wants, after this course, this food technology and management, after completing, there is provision for going for FSSAI exams, because they do conduct
Right.
the food analyst, food technology analyst, food officer roles. A lot of options are there, but those are the competitive exam for which people need to give like lot of time for that, because a lot
You have
of
to
like
prepare
hurdles
for
are
these
yes,
FSSAI exams. Can
yes.
you give some more information regarding that? Maybe you can just keep me posted and I can share it with the students and participants regarding the
Yes, so for
FSSAI exams. Or maybe they can
yes,
go to the website and check it, right?
yes, exactly. So FSSAI website, we can see every year they'll conduct exam for different roles of the food technology students. They
Right.
either ask for MSc in food technology, or they will ask for engineering courses in food technology. So that is one that is one opening in opportunity, I'll say. If we go through this food technology, you also have the provision for preparing for FSSAI exam for future.
Right. Right. Even life science students I know can prepare for this FSSAI exams. They can also, sit for the
Ma'am,
exam.
that will be for particularly for life science role only, not for food technology roles.
Okay.
Because for food technological roles, they will mainly prefer food technology background, especially post graduation or engineering courses. They will ask for life
Okay.
science roles will be separately for particularly for life
So what
science
you're trying to say
careers.
is if somebody has done graduation in, say, chemistry or maybe biology or microbiology or biochemistry, they should do post graduation in food science and technology.
They do prefer MSc also
And
might have a provision, but preference will be given to food technology as
these
far as I have
exams
known.
have to be cleared after graduation or after post graduation.
After post graduation.
Okay, so that makes it more clear. And one more thing, Muskan, you were telling me about this thing, this microbiology. Post graduation in microbiology has a separate scope in food industry. So
Yes,
I'm just
ma'am.
asking you once again, what is the name of the department in the food industry
No,
for these?
microbiologist.
The name of the department
Microbiologist for shelf life study.
for shelf life study, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So
Ma'am,
thanks
also
a
I would
lot.
just like to add
Huh.
one thing. Ma'am,
Sure.
as nutrition students, I think we should be aware that FSSAI has just released this guideline as well, which says all the food products or processed products, the claims need to be re-verified every 5 years, and or a clinical trial which will last for a lifetime. So most of the industries will now be focusing into hiring nutritionists because for these claim support. Okay, there is a fixed guideline from FSSAI that says, okay, you can only call a product low sugar or a diabetic product if it has this much amount to do with it. So for that, a lot of nutritionists right now are being hired. So that is another opportunity that will be there.
Okay, I'll just take up the questions. Thank you, Muskan. I'll just take up the questions now. So, any of you can answer, please. Okay. So, is post graduation necessary for these jobs? So, I think from what I gathered from all of you that yes, post graduation is a necessity, and moreover, if you have to grow, so it is a necessity. But I think in yesterday's discussion, some of you were telling me that somebody who is a graduate can get a chance in FMCG, that is fast moving consumer goods.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
what you had told me yesterday, right? So
Yes,
only
ma'am.
after graduation also you can get a job, but only in FMCG. But if you
Which will be
want
more generalized lab roles.
right, but if you want more of the food industry based role, like quality control, especially, then you should have like analytical, like either post graduation in analytical chemistry, or you could have MSc in food science and technology or food technology and management. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as I mentioned in my slides also, for all other background students, and MSc will always give them an upper hand and which will give them more advanced roles. But yes, if they want to join after BSc, there are roles, but it will be more generalized and lab-based roles.
Yes. Okay. Another question is, what is the difference between MSc in dietetics, MSc in applied nutrition, and MSc in food and nutrition? Anyone? MSc in dietetics, MSc in applied nutrition, MSc in food and nutrition. Is there any difference?
Ma'am, I can talk about what food science and nutrition does because that's what I have done as well. So, food science and nutrition MSc is more like an umbrella course which has some part of nutrition in it and major part of food science. That is how different foods react to each other. What are the processing methods? When processed, again, what nutrients will be there, or what nutrients just gets removed during the processing. So all that, like, so it's an umbrella course in that way. uh, so food science and nutrition has a lot of scopes involved in it. I think Nikita can answer better for applied nutrition than me.
Yes, same like applied nutrition, it covers nutrition, clinical nutrition, and this food science, food technology, public health, and all the food and nutrition related topics.
Okay. Another question is how to apply for internship in food industry after graduation. Could you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so
Yeah.
after graduation, actually, I think internship would be the best way to enter a food industry because a
Right.
lot of companies do provide PPO if the work is good. Like interns, they are given separate projects, like small projects over a period of time. And if the projects come out to be beneficial, then a PPO might be provided.
What is a PPO?
It's a pre-placement offer. That means they choose to give you a job after seeing your work during an internship.
Okay, so you're saying that after graduation, there is scope to apply for internship in food
Yes,
industries.
ma'am.
They do take graduate
They do
students
take.
also
Yes,
for
ma'am.
internship, and they can
Internships they will take, ma'am.
okay, and they will do they get some stipend there? No,
Most of the
no stipend.
companies don't provide stipend.
And what if a MSc student pursuing MSc or one who has completed MSc goes for internship?
Ma'am, again, no stipend is involved. Major industries do not provide stipend, but yeah, the level of projects given to an MSc student is a little higher, and there is more preference for a PPO there. Like more, they might give them a job, offer them a job themselves if they like the project and how it has come out.
Right. Okay. Now, what are the job roles related to food adulteration? I think this question is for you only, Muskan. What are the job roles and also Abhirupa? Job roles related to food adulteration.
What
So
I feel is, ma'am, for food adulteration, also we do quality testing. So, as a QC person, one can get hired for checking the adulterant level in any food raw products or food finished products. So, quality control or quality assurance will work on this for mainly analysis of the products for testing the level and also the constituent is present that is present as an adulterant in the food.
Right. Okay. Like
also, a lot of labs which do the testings. For example, all the FSSAI recognized labs, they hire chemists and analysts where they work with a lot of adulteration testing, and not only adulteration testing but normal food testing also. Like the nutrition details we have behind the packs, those all are done by other labs. Like to make it more relevant. So all those labs, their analyst roles or chemist roles are provided.
Right, thank you. Okay, and is there any way of preparing for the interview for this food industry job?
Ma'am, I think first of all, what I have seen the difference between postgraduate students and when I was myself also in BSc. Uh, First of all, to start, even before the interview, I think we should make a strong LinkedIn profile, connect with people. That's when you will know that what are the openings, what are the requirements, whom can you get in touch with if you want to
Students
apply.
must join these social platforms like
Yes,
LinkedIn,
yes, ma'am.
right?
It's
Any
a
other
very, very good platform to help you connect.
any other
Follow the
platform?
uh, ma'am.
And
Basically, as a student level, I think ma'am LinkedIn is good enough.
also, I feel going for some courses and certification courses that the FSSAI and other from authority bodies are offering, for those will be beneficial for cracking interviews if they are holding those certifications.
So some certificate courses can be done,
Yes,
right, for updating your
yes,
knowledge. Okay,
yes.
right. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
and for the interviews, I think we can say, ma'am, we need to be able to sell our knowledge because it's eventually the marketing you do for
Yes,
yourself that will pick you
that's
up.
the thing. There are lakhs and lakhs of students studying nutrition and passing out every year. So why will company take you? Only if you are better than others. It's
Yes.
like supply is so much, but demand is very less. Okay, I have one more question from one of our students. That is, I don't know, maybe she wants some in-depth answer. Like I have taught this in class already. Coal tar dye test, right? One of you had spoken about coal tar dye test in tea, coal tar dye as an adulterant. So why this yellow or orange color is obtained after reaction?
Ma'am, as far as I know, to prepare the coal tar dye, it is melted with 1% lead chromate or potassium chromate, which gives it that classic, ma'am, not an orange, but a reddish yellow color, which is in which the tea leaves are soaked uh, to make it like, to give it that color, especially while making tea. So this can easily be detected when in a filter paper, if you take a bunch of tea leaves, just wet it a little. So the tea will not immediately start leaving color. That was one of the tests there as well. So if it starts leaving color immediately, that also the color is very strong red. So then there are chances that it is detected or it's adulterated basically.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So I think we have answered all the queries. One of my students has asked this question. I think I should take it up. That is Ashmita Chatterjee. Internship opportunities after BSc in clinical nutrition and dietetics. Okay, Ashmita, you could have asked this separately also. See, graduation in clinical nutrition and dietetics, sir, for during the graduation itself, we are giving you a lot of internship opportunities. Not exactly internship, but on-job training, because of the semester system. Internship is minimum 3 months, right? 3 to 6 months, then we call it internship. We don't have that time in the semester system. So we do give you exposure to community field for becoming a community nutritionist. We give you exposure to the hospital field for becoming a dietitian. We give you exposure to food industries and even hotels to go into that line as well. But it is all through on job training and field visits, right? Now, as for internship, many of our students do pursue internship. Like what happens is that once you are going there and getting in contact with these people, whether it is in the community level or whether it is in the food industry level or whether it is in the hospital level, whichever you are interested in, so we are making the contact for you. Now after graduation, definitely post graduation is the best option, because as we have already discussed, without that your career growth will be very stagnant. So many times it happens that for some reason a student has not been able to get into a postgraduate course this year. So that time lag, that can be utilized by doing internship in one of the fields, whichever you are interested in. So we are opening your lines of communication. Now it's up to you to build a rapport with those companies where we are sending you for on-job training or visits, and then you can get in touch with them. You can take help of the faculty of the department in pursuing your internship. So many of our students are pursuing internship in hospitals or even community level, or even in the food industries after graduation also, before they enter the post graduation. It could be 3 to 6 months internship period. It may be stipend, may be paid or may not be paid. I hope that answers your question, Ashmita. Otherwise, three of you, you have given so much beautiful presentations. And in fact, I would like to mention that we are all very busy. Because food industry job is not easy. It's, you must say that actually it's long working hours. So Sunday is the only off you get, but you are spending it with this. So anyways, thank you. And I
Thank you, ma'am,
request
for
now,
giving us this opportunity. Ma'am,
no, please stay
yes,
on for some more time. Please don't leave. Please stay on. You are supposed to join. So as I
ma'am,
have requested, Bolo, you were saying something?
yes, ma'am. Like one of the student asked like how to be prepared for N9 entrance exams and from which semester we should start
Okay.
preparation. So I can tell you like I guide students for like for this entrance exams for like CT or this N9 exams. So you can contact me further for like further information.
Please share your contact details, Nikita. ये chat box से
I
एकटू
will
दिए
share
दाओ
my
तुम्हार contact details. Email
okay.
ID. Yes, just give it right now so I can share it in the private chat box because this is not visible. Mane, that's why. Just a moment. Huh? Okay, hi. I can see you. I hope I'm audible. Sanjukta and Anushri.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, welcome both of you. So actually, the session got a little extended today, but I'm sure that it is going wonderfully well. That is why it has got extended. Students are showing a lot of interest. So they have so many queries, and it takes time to address all. So we have Sanjukta here. She has done her MSc in Food Science and Nutrition from Pondicherry University after completing her graduation from CND department, Gokhale College in 2019, and she finished her. Oh, she has also done MTech from Food Supply Chain Management from NIFTEM. So she has double post graduation, right, Sanjukta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you have double post graduation. She has also cleared her NET exam, UGC NET, that is for lectureship, and she has qualified GATE exam as well. Currently, she is working as assistant manager in the brewing department of production, that is in Mysore. Can you just say the name of the company? Is it like AB InBev?
Yes, ma'am. Right. AB
AB
InBev.
InBev. Okay. So, okay, Sanjukta, can you please start with your presentation?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. So you will actually use the present button. Can you see the present button?
Ma'am, is it visible?
Not yet. Use the present button and share the screen window.
Ma'am, I've already shared. Is it visible?
Not yet. I'm just checking out. Just a moment.
Now?
No, it's not yet visible. I'm just checking. It's not yet visible.
Ma'am, but here it's showing that it is getting
Mhm.
shared.
Actually, it's not showing what I'm being told. That it's not been showing, so that's why. Okay, yes, now I think it will. Yes, wait, wait, wait. Yes, your slide is visible.
Okay. So, hello, good afternoon, everybody. So, myself, Sanjukta Datta. I am currently working as an assistant manager in the production department of AB InBev. AB InBev is the short term for Anheuser-Busch in beverages. It is a alcoholic beverage industry which predominantly deals in making beer. And I will name some of the brands that we produce. These are Budweiser Magnum, Corona, Hogarden. So I work in the production department, and my highest educational qualification is MTech from NIFTEM, Haryana, in food supply chain and management. And I am a Gokhale Memorial Girls College pass out in the CNDV from the CNDV department, batch of 2016-2019. So, first of all, I'm really thankful to Pratyasha ma'am and the entire Gokhale Memorial Girls College placement cell, principal ma'am, for giving me this opportunity today to speak here. I will be speaking about the basics of food adulteration and the career prospects in food industry. So, all three of my juniors have wonderfully explained about the food adulteration process in industry in particular. And Muskan had also already shared some of the tests that FSSAI has given for detection of adulteration in food. So, this all are available in the Dart book of FSSAI. So, since I deal in the brewing sector, where we make beer from basically food grains, for example, wheat, barley, and rice, I try to discuss some of the adulterants in the food grain sector. So, first of all, I will be discussing about the detection of extraneous matter. That is dust, pebbles, stone, straw, some weevils, there can be threads, etc. in the food grains. Now it's a very simple process. You have to take a small quantity in a glass plate, for example 5 grams or 10 grams of the product, be it can be wheat, it can be barley, it can be rice, and then visually you can detect if there are impurities. Like visually you can detect stones, you can detect if there are insects or weevils, if there are threads or plastic or paper, or there can be dust. So this is a very simple process, and I think all of us have seen our mothers doing it on a day-to-day basis at our home. So when we get rice, or when we get some atta or suji or something, we will usually do this. Our mothers will usually try to separate all the unwanted material present in the food grain before storing it. So same is in this case. So if I talk on an industrial level, it is not possible in reality to check the entire batch or entire truck of the food product. So what we do, we take a random sample and we check it, and it is sieved. First it is weighed normally, and then it is, after removal of the foreign particles, it is weighed again. So from there we can make a assumption how much foreign material was present in that food particle. So next is detection of dhatura in food grains. So again you can see this black colored particle. It will be present usually in the pulses. For example, masoor dal or moong dal. You have stones also in dals, and this dhatura is also present. These are seeds which are flat and is blackish or brownish in color, and can also again be distinguished with visual examination. Now coming to added colors in food grains. So for this you can take a glass of water, take 2 teaspoons of the food grain or 3 teaspoons, and if the food grain, after keeping it for some time, if the food grain is leaving color, that is there is discoloration or the water is getting colored, then there is adulteration. That means the food grains were colored, and it is not naturally the color that we expect. So the pure one will not leave any color and the water will be clear. Coming to detection of sand, soil, insects or weevils in atta, maida, suji. Again, similar, it can be detected via visual examination, and you can separate it and take out the unwanted material. Now, if I talk about the industrial scenario, it is not possible to check every bag and to clear out every unwanted material from every bag. So this is first of all the work of the vendor, who is the raw material provider to the industry or the food industry. So the vendor has to ensure that the product is not adulterated, and he will send the best possible product to the company. Now the company will have a certificate of analysis, where we will do all the analysis of a random sample of that product, and we will match it with the COA or the certificate of application sent by the vendor, and we will tally it. So it has to match at least it should be the closest to what parameters or what values they are sending us, and it has to match with the one we have analyzed, and then it has to be passed on for production. Next, coming to beverages, Muskan has already discussed about chicory in coffee powder. I'll again once just briefly tell. Chicory is a substitute for coffee, and it is responsible for giving a very bold flavor to coffee. And usually, there are brands which nowadays will mention chicory as an ingredient in their label itself. So you can maybe turn on the packet and see that it is mentioned chicory is 30% present. There is 30% of chicory and 60% of coffee. So that again cannot be considered as adulteration. It is an additive. Adulteration will be considered only when the the food company is not making the customer aware. Like food adulteration comes under the broad umbrella of food fraud. Adulteration is kind of a food fraud where the supplier is intentionally changing or substituting or removing an important product or ingredient from the product, or substituting it with a different product ingredient, and is not making the customer aware of it. So this is usually done to for economic advantages or gains, and it can also lead to harmful health diseases. So that is adulteration. It is a kind of a food fraud. But if it is mentioned in the packet, it is not a food fraud or a food adulteration. It is a food additive. So again, chicory will get the color of the water will get brownish if there is chicory, and if you dissolve 2 tablespoons of coffee in the water, and if it is pure, the water will remain clear and transparent. Next is iron fillings in tea leaves. So you can take a very small amount of tea leaves in a glass plate, and maybe move the iron magnet over the tea leaves, and pure tea leaves will not show any iron fillings. If there are iron fillings, that is, the tea leaf is adulterated, then it will be captured in the magnet. One more test is detection of exhausted tea leaves, exhausted tea in tea leaves. So what you can do is take a filter paper. It is this white filter paper, and take a handful of tea leaves. Now sprinkle some water into make the paper wet. Just enough wet, and wash the filter paper under tap water and observe if any stain is there against sunlight or light. Pure tea leaves will not stain the filter paper. If there are exhausted tea in the tea leaves, then or if coal tar is present, like it has already been discussed in the previous session, then the filter paper will have stains, brownish or yellowish stains. So something I would like to tell you is these are tests that can be easily performed at home or in the lab scale. But when it comes to an industrial scale, uh, it is not scalable to test every bag. So it is the major job of the vendor to provide you unadulterated product. You can only take a random sample and test it. But to ensure that we don't add any extra unwanted material in our final product, we have to clean the product thoroughly before we take it to production. And in an industrial scale, there are several steps to that. For example, you have destoner, you have magnetic classifier, you have drum magnets, drum sieves. So a drum sieve is used to remove threads, a destoner is used to remove stones, magnetic separator is used to separate iron fillings, and this process will lead to a cleaner and a pure product which can be finally used for production. Now, since I am into the production sector, I would like to give you a glimpse of production and processing in a brewery. So, you've all heard about beer, I assume, and beer is an alcoholic beverage, but it is made from food ingredient, that is food grain to be specific, especially barley. Mainly, the main ingredient is barley. Now, what we do is we get malt, barley malt from a third party vendor. We don't do the malting process in the company, but we get the malt directly. The malting is done by the vendor itself, and he sends the malt to us. After cleaning and all the processes, after storing, we fine powder the malt. There is a milling system called the hammer mill, where we will put the malt and we will convert it into a fine powder. Similar process for rice. We have roller mills where we will fine powder the rice into rice grist, and then we take it into tanks to cook it. So there is the first, you can see there is rice cooker and there is mash tun. So the rice cooker is for cooking the rice. That is a simple process of putting the rice powder and water and cooking it at high temperatures, high above about 72 degrees. Same process for mash tun, that is the malt is getting cooked in water at high temperatures, and here all this saccharification, gelatinization happens, the enzyme activity happens over here. After this, we get a mixture which we transfer into the lauter tun. This acts like a filter. So this, you can see there are some plate like structure. That plates will help you to take out the liquid. So you take out the liquid from the solid part. The liquid is called wort or sweet wort, which is the essential ingredient for making beer. And the solid part that is spent, that is used as animal feed. Next up, we take the liquid into another vessel where we boil it to 98 degrees. So here the boiling happens and you get to extract all the flavors from the wort. After this, you take it into another vessel called the whirlpool, which uses the centrifugal force. Now, the centrifugal force is used to settle down all the debris, the protein particles, the polyphenols into the bottom, and then you can extract the clear liquid from above. After this, we cool the wort down because the wort, as I said, is at a higher temperature, the liquid. Then we cool down the liquid to around 10 to 11 degrees because. Uh, Beer is a fermented product and you need fermentation to happen at a lower temperature because yeast, which is the major microorganism in fermentation, cannot function at temperatures higher than this. So after this, we take the beer into a cold vessel where we put yeast and we give oxygen because oxygen is needed again for the yeast to develop its cell walls and develop a structure. The yeast will then ferment the use the fermentable sugars and convert it into ethanol, which will give you beer. Now after this is made, it is taken into filtration process. In the filtration process you get a clear beer and then it is given to packaging. So I would be discussing about the career prospects in food industry, like the higher studies. So if you are doing BSc in clinical nutrition and dietetics, you can go into MSc food science and nutrition. You can go into MSc food science and technology. From there on, you can go to MTech in food technology, food processing, food engineering, or even MBA in food business administration or food business management. Now, I would be telling about some of the competitive exams that you can take after your graduation or post graduation. These are the MSc college entrances that you can take after your undergraduation. So there are various entrances offered by various colleges. For example, DU has separate entrance examination. Pondicherry has separate entrance examination. SNDT has entrance examination. So you can take up these examinations and you can take admission in the college. There is CUCET or state CET, which is also again after your undergraduation you can take it. This will help you to take admission in central colleges in a central level. Then you can also appear for GATE in both engineering and life science background, and this can be done after your post graduation. You can also take up UGC net in home science background after your post graduation. This will help you to go into the research sector. If you want to go abroad, then you can take the IELTS or TOEFL or GRE after your post graduation or under graduation, both. And coming to government competitive exams, there is FSSAI and FCI exams that you can usually take after your post graduation. FSSAI has various examinations like technical officer, central food safety officer. FCI will have food officer, food analyst, junior analyst exams. They will be sending out notifications every year, and you must keep an eye on their websites so that you get to know and you can apply. And before, FSSAI did not have food science and nutrition as an eligibility to take the exam, but now it is there. So I think that's a benefit or an opportunity for every one of you. Now, some of the reputed colleges in India that you can try out after your graduation or undergraduations are IIT Kharagpur, IIT Guwahati, NIT Rourkela, IIST Shibpur, CFTRI, NIFTM, both Kundli and Tanjavur, ICT Mumbai, Jadavpur University, Delhi University, NIN Hyderabad, Pondicherry University, etc. These colleges will offer you various courses, for example, MTech Food Technology, MSc in Food Science and Technology, MSc in Food Science and Nutrition, MTech in Food Engineering, Food Supply Chain Management, Food Technology Management, Food Engineering, etc. So some of these colleges are research based, you must keep that in mind. So even if you are looking for a placement after your course, then you have to do your research, because not all of these colleges have a good placement cycle. Some are very much inclined towards a research background, and some are inclined towards the placement or industrial sector. So job opportunities, you have various position or openings in food industry. If you come from food science, nutrition, or food technology or food engineering background, for example, quality analyst, quality control, sensory analyst, R&D, that is research and development, production, processing, food technologist, biochemist or microbiologist, nutrition officer, food safety auditor, etc. So my career journey, I'll briefly tell you about my career journey. It is that I have done my BSc in clinical nutrition and dietetics from Gokhale Memorial Girls College, University of Calcutta. After that, I went on to pursue MSc in food science and nutrition from Pondicherry University. It came under the Department of Food Science and Technology. Uh, there itself, I have appeared for UGC NET in home science. I have cleared that, but somehow I was not inclined into the research sector. So I again appeared for GATE in life sciences, food technology, and then I did my MTech from NIFTM Kundli or Haryana in food supply chain management. It is basically a food technology course specializing in supply chain management. From college itself, I was selected in the campus placement for internship drive. We have both internship drive and placement drive. So I was selected from campus in the internship drive at AB InBev. AB InBev is a MNC brewery which makes beer, and I was a trainee there for the initial 6 months. After which I was offered and pre-placement offer in the company, that is for an on-roll permanent employee. And since then, I have been working as an assistant manager in the production department of. So the major challenge that I have faced, to be very honest, is moving on my the technical field or technological field or industrial sector from the general science background. So how to overcome this? You have to do a very focused learning on technological aspects of food science and technology. Even when I was in my BSc, I was pretty sure that I wanted to go into the food industry. So I had made sure to study more on the food science and technology aspects. Then appearing for exams like GATE or NET, this will give you an edge and help you to chase this courses or these jobs easily. Researching and choosing your post graduation college and course very wisely, that take you closer to your goals. You have to be very aware of what the market is, scenario is, what the colleges and courses are, what placement opportunities your college will give you, and if that course or that college will and you will be mutually benefited from each other or not. So you have to be very wise in choosing that, and maybe that will help you to move closer to your goals. Now, having knowledge of the major players in the FMCG sector is also a very important thing. When you go out to try for internships in food industries, you must know like what are the major FMCG companies, that fast moving consumer good companies, and you must be very aware of what is happening. So being proactive during your placement cycle in college, you have to be very proactive during the placement cycle. You have to make the most of it, and you have to grab the opportunity if your college has one to provide. Now, lastly, developing connections both online and offline. So online, like everybody has discussed, LinkedIn is a very good source for communicating, and next is offline, that is developing a connection of your through your professors or your peers or your seniors. So be very aware. Lastly, I would like to quote Eleanor Roosevelt saying, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And I hope that nobody of you stop dreaming and just achieve your goals. Keep moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sanjukta. I'm very sorry for the time limit because as we have extended by an hour already, we are running late. So, but really wonderful presentation. I think you could think about, taking some classes on weekends because your presentation was wonderful. It was self-explanatory, It was prepared very well and explained also very well. And I think it should answer all the questions of the students. So next we go on to Anushri. She is currently working in UK. I'm very proud of you, Anushri, actually, because the way she has made her journey, it is really incredible. So Anushri is currently working as a process technologist at Zorba Delicacies in UK. And before that, Anushri, I think you have worked as a food technologist at Cape Stone Organic Poultry Limited.
Yes.
Yes. And you have completed before that your master's in food science and technology from Cardiff Metropolitan University in UK with a specialization in new product development. And you had cleared the finalists exam of SKA food safety quiz, which was held across 10 nations when you were doing your graduation. So Anushri has always been very hardworking. I have seen her as a student. In fact, all of them have been very hardworking, but really you make us proud, even Sanjukta. So Anushri, please take over, and I think I'll share your slides for you. Just
Yes,
a
if you
moment.
can, please. Thank you.
Just a moment. Yeah, so I'm sharing the screen, but it has to be added. I've already shared it. It's not showing actually. Wait. Actually, there's now a network issue from my end. Wait.
Okay.
I'm just doing it again. See, it's showing it to me, but is it visible? No, exactly. Just give me a moment. Anushri, you can meanwhile start talking, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. It has been a great afternoon listening to all of you. I myself learned a lot through your presentation, so it's lovely to be back in this environment again, surrounded by ex alumni, current students, and my very dear professor. Um, I am Anushri Bhomik. I currently work as a process technologist in a company called Zoba Delicacies. Um, Basically, a process technologist is not a role which you might hear back in India. It's not something very different from a food technologist. It's just that I work very close with product development, and my job is to take products from the kitchen into the factory. um, so if I go in to simplify it a bit more, say if you're making a soup at home, you would make a pan of it. But when we make a soup in the factory, we make about 500 kilos of it. And with that, with the scaling up, there is a lot of process challenges, machine capability challenges. There comes a health and safety issue as well. There is when you scale up products, there is issues with viscosity, how products will react in a large scale manufacturing scenario. So I deal with a lot of that. My role also involves an element of continuous improvement. So it means that when you're making products in the factory, you would have to um, maintain a certain quality all throughout the shelf life, and also ensure the same quality is produced in every production run. So if in any case production people face any issues with quality or technical receive any complaints related to a product. I would be doing process audits, giving suggestions to the factory as well on how they could improve or overcome those challenges. So this is a bit about my role. Current role, I've also worked as a food technologist, which was sort of a wider role. It involved both technical aspects and product innovation. So I myself am very passionate about working in a food manufacturing plant. I have worked in poultry products as well, and my current product line includes hummuses, which is basically a chickpea dip. Or it also includes cooking sauces, different types of sauces, say sweet and sour sauce, hoisin sauce. I've also worked in production of jams, which is like a chili jam or sweet jams. And last product which I've worked with is soups. So I've worked in various food categories, and I deal with organoleptic assessment over life as well. So um, I think all of the previous speakers have elaborated enough on organoleptic assessment. I do it across the shelf life of the product so that we know that throughout life the product will perform well and we won't have any quality issues in the product, or what sort of changes we can expect so that we can let the consumer know, let our customers know that this is completely natural related to your product and the product is not spoiled or not safe to eat. I also deal with micro labs, sending samples, also interpreting microbiological data. For example, if you send any product to the lab, you get the micro data, you get it tested for various microbes, and you get the data. And there are sort of specifications set as well on what a number of certain microbes should be there in a food product. And if it crosses a certain limit, it would be deemed as unacceptable or not safe to eat. So this is what I work with. In terms of my education, my most recent qualification is a master's in food science and technology, which I completed from Cardiff Metropolitan University, which is a university in the UK. And my specialization in my course was food product innovation. I worked in the development of vegan chicken soups as well during my course, so that was really interesting. And in in terms of other qualifications, I am a project management professional as well. I've recently passed a course which gives me that title. And I've completed my bachelor's from Gokhale Memorial Girls College, and I graduated in 2019. So this is a bit about myself. I have shared my, ma'am, could you please move to the next slide? I could just point out that I've shared my LinkedIn.
One moment, yes, yes. Okay, Anushri, we have another 15 minutes to finish. I hope you can.
Yes, yes, sure. No problem at all.
And let me know when to change the slides.
Yes, sure, sure. Thank you. So I've added my LinkedIn profile in the slide. So if you get a chance to look at my slides, please click on the link and you can get connected to me. There might be a lag to answering questions, but if I could be of any help, that would be really nice. Or just get connected. You never know who you can help at what points in their career. So just get connected. Moving on to the careers prospects in the food industry. So if I tell you a bit in depth about my journey before moving into this, I was not supposed to be in the food industry. I was aiming to be a doctor after my plus two, and everyone in the family was like really looking forward to it. And one fine day, I decided that that is not what I want to do. I really am passionate about food. I love eating. I love cooking. And I decided I would go into a food related degree. This came with a lot of um, disagreement from the family end. And um, Pratyasha ma'am actually helped me convince my family that I should actually continue my course, and I should stay in the food industry because she had the faith that I would do well. So somehow I always had to prove myself that I'm doing well enough academically to my family. And in the second year of my bachelor's course, when I was in Gokhale, I took part in a quiz competition, which was across 10 nations. There were 180 universities competing. And I discovered food science, and food science was also a paper in that year as well in our curriculum. So, and I knew that this interests me, and I do not want to be a dietitian. I want to be somewhere in the food industry, knowing a bit more or working a bit more with food science and technology. I really enjoyed it. So that is how I got into the food industry. In terms of career prospects, I did not have that much clarity at that point. And now I will start speaking about the prospects. So you can be various things in the food industry based on your qualifications and your internship experience or your knowledge or certification courses. If I go from the auditor's perspective, you can freelance as an auditor for organizations like SGS. You can get into company graduate schemes. A graduate scheme is not very different from an internship. Just as Sanjukta, Nikita, or Muskan said, that you can get into internships, and then from you can move into a senior role. There are nutritional roles. This is nothing but analytical jobs in food laboratories. There are various regulatory roles as well. Like you can work for FSSAI in the regulatory affairs section. You can also work in the regulatory department of different food manufacturing companies. There is room for health and safety roles as well. I'm not sure whether this is quite common in India, but if you are a food technologist, I've seen various job descriptions where they ask that you need to have a sound knowledge of health and safety. Sensory technologist, I think Nikita has shared enough on that. I'm pretty sure you know about it now. A retail technologist is somebody who looks over a lot of suppliers, approves their specifications, approves their products, conducts audits in the suppliers as well. So if I try to break down how things work in the food industry, so retailers are major players, say Big Basket or some or Spencer's, say, are a retailer, but suppliers are the various smaller companies which supply into a retailer. So retailer technologist will work with suppliers quite a bit. Specifications, systems technologist, I think a food technologist covers that kind of a role. It is basically filling out the specifications of a product, how it should look, how it should taste, where the raw ingredients are coming for that product. Factory-based technologist, you can say anyone who helps in scaling up of products from the kitchen into the factory. Research or materials technologist, again, it is a more supplier approval focused role. Laboratory technician is, again, it is a very suitable role for people graduating with a chemistry degree. NPD or product development or process roles. Product development, as you know, is ideating, creating new ideas based on customer requirements, based on market trends. Or you can do further research or you can go into the research degree like a PhD in food science or in nutrition, whichever you like. Ma'am, if you could move into the next slide, please. Um, I was asked if I could add anything for chemistry graduates, so I've added this slide. In this area, I would like to highlight two opportunities which can be of great interest. So FSSAI has a food analyst and junior analyst roles, and I have added the last year's notice, which shows the eligibility criteria, what is involved in the application process and the selection process as well. So please take your time to go through that. So there are two kinds of roles: junior analyst and analyst roles. I think the analyst roles requires 3 years of experience using ISO standard, like using experience of testing using ISO standards. And junior analyst, I think it doesn't need much industry experience, so you can maybe go after your bachelor's or your master's. I think they allow both. Even people with PhD are like allowed to apply into that. So please go through that leaflet if you're interested in that role. A new big thing is alternative protein. The GFI basically stands for Good Food Institute. They are doing a lot of work across the globe with alternative protein, be it cultivated meat, be it cellular proteins. So since people in chemistry will have a good knowledge of chemical composition of stuff, you could even diversify into biotechnology, and you can look for roles in their website as well. Even if you are not looking for roles, there is a great set of resources, so please go into their website and go into the resources section. You will learn a lot, and that might give you a direction on what you want to do in your career. There are roles advertised. So if you go through the job descriptions, see what kind of skills, see what kind of qualifications are required. But I would say, this is a personal opinion, but I would say a master's degree is very much essential to stand out in the crowd. So if you are a chemistry graduate, you want to diversify into food science and technology, I would suggest a second degree related to food to have that added edge. Or if you are just a BSc student, try doing your dissertation in something related to food chemistry. That might help. There is lots of courses on NPTEL. This is basically a government website which provides free courses to everyone. So there is more than 1,700 courses. So see what you can do in there to have that added edge over other people. So I myself have done several courses in there, and they are really helpful because they do. Sorry, I think my presentation has disappeared.
Sorry, 1 second. Sure. Anushri, 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it got closed by mistake. Just a moment.
Sorry, how much time do I have left?
Actually, the time is over. So maybe 5 more minutes. We can make it.
Okay.
We have two more slides. One is recommendations and one is resources. So we'll move on to the recommendation slide. We don't have time because the thing is, this is StreamYard. It will close down on its own. That's the whole problem. Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I will try my best within the next 5 minutes and finish off.
Yes. I have shared your screen.
I think I cannot see it.
Wait.
Yeah, it is. So my suggestions very quickly for everyone here is keep looking beyond your pre-assigned curriculum. Don't just restrict yourself to the books. See for online courses. Have a very strong LinkedIn profile, and try to be the most well-informed person in your field. I know it is not a short-term goal, but try to know more than the average person. Read watch YouTube videos, watch TED Talks. There is so much on the internet that you can learn. That there are so many online courses you can sign up to. This is what has helped me over my career till date, is knowing the outside world more and being aware of what is going on, being aware of what online courses can you do, and this helped me in my applications abroad as well. Like I applied to 10 universities and I was accepted in each one of them. I was open to scholarship options. I was doing my own research. So that is very important. No matter what others suggest you have to do your in-depth research to know the best, to be well informed. Um, Also connect with people as much as possible. Use LinkedIn. There is so many companies hiring over LinkedIn, just people in the company posting on LinkedIn, looking for interns, looking for junior people just to do an unpaid internships. So please use your LinkedIn profile to the fullest. Have a decent profile picture. Connect with people who are doing the kind of jobs you want to do in the future. Speak to them. No, don't just connect. Just speak to them. Ask them questions. So I think this is what I wanted to say, and I have shared various resources. The Fixie website, it is a very good job, a food industry job portal. They do a lot of career fairs. Please go through that. I have also shared a competency assessment document, which will make you realize what sort of competencies you have and decide on what careers you can go into. And my final message would be just never stop upskilling. Just keep going on upskilling and keep learning new things even after you've got a job. So thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, so thank you so much, Anushri. Thank you so much for being there. In fact, all five of you. Okay,
Thank you.
so I think we have exactly 15 minutes left. We have given the feedback form link in the chat box. We request all the participants to fill it up for the e-certificate. So I'll just take up a few questions. We don't have much time, but before I take up the questions, I would really like to thank all five of you for giving so much of your precious time today on a Sunday. As I said, you have a very busy schedule and you're working on all 6 days of the week. This is the only off day you have, and we actually had our session extended. We couldn't help with so many questions coming in, which shows that students have actually taken interest in the session, thanks to all of you. And in fact, I would like to mention this, that Anushri, congratulations, she's getting married very recently. In spite of that, she took out time from her schedule, and she even put an alarm and called me at, that is, um, for me it was IST, it was, I think, 9 a.m., but for her it was 4 a.m. So that was really bad on my part. Okay, I never meant to do that, but I had to have a meeting with her. So that is how dedicated these students are. So I just hope I can get that kind of dedication in future from my students who are right now there. And so yes, all of them have been very cooperative throughout in the arrangements and successful completion of the program. I'm very proud of all five of them. In fact, they have been an inspiration for all the students, and I hope that the audience are able to utilize the information shared today for their professional growth, because all five of you have, come together as a circle to complete all the information that was required to become a food industry professional, from which I think students can gather everything if they have listened to all of you properly. That's the thing. Now, I would also like to extend my thanks to the audience, because their presence and patience on a Sunday afternoon has made this session successful. Thanks to our college principal, Dr. Atushi Karfa, for her unending support and guidance. Thanks to our IQSA coordinator, Dr. Moshumi Mukherjee, for her suggestions and presence in the program. Today, although she was out of station, she gave a wonderful introduction session. She has always been very supportive. I would also extend my thanks to Dr. Arijit De, member IQAC Committee, GMGC, and Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, for his valuable advice and inputs which helped in formulation of today's program. Thanks to the Placement Cell GMGC for their collaboration with the Department of Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics for this event. And special thanks to Dr. Shubham Datta, HOD and Assistant Professor, Department of English, and also convener of the Placement Cell for all the technical support in conducting the webinar. Otherwise, it would not have been possible. He has been the one who is hosting the webinar and looking after all the technicalities. And he is also waiting for another extra hour, in fact, for this program extension. And lastly, thanks to all my student volunteers, especially Koel Mandal and Ahona Sarkar of semester 5 and Ashmita Chatterjee of semester 3 for their support in making this event successful. So actually, I would say this department is by the students, for the students, and of the students. Uh, so thank you so much, all of you. I'll just take up one or two questions which I found very relevant. One was that which semester marks are needed for applying to university in UK, especially Jan Feb intake?
So semester, all your transcripts would be required. So transcripts are basically a combination of your first, second, and third year marks, and also the confirmation that you have passed all three of them.
Right. So
What happens in universities abroad, be it UK, be it USA, there would be a GPA conversion as well, because we have a very strict grading system in Calcutta University. So your GPA in Calcutta University might translate to a higher international grade. So make sure when you're applying. So in short, the answer is you will need marks for all three semesters. There is no one particular semester which you will need, but please go into the websites of the universities to see the eligibility, and also some universities abroad will have a conversion on their website. For students who want to apply to the USA, there is an organization which I cannot remember at the moment. I'll share with Pratyasha ma'am, which does transcript conversion from Indian system into the USA system. In some universities, that requirement might be not there, but again, it varies from university to university. So you will have to go into the individual university websites which you're planning to apply to, and the requirements might vary. But again, if you have any further questions in future, just connect with me.
okay, another question is, am I audible? Yeah. Another question is that which places can you apply for internship in food industry? I think this Sanjukta has answered that from which places in the internship can be done. And one more question is future prospect of food and nutrition or dietetics in abroad or European countries.
So in Europe, I can talk more about Europe because I'm here and I know. USA, again, the scenario, the landscape changes country wise. So it will differ. In in the UK scenario, you have to be a registered nutritionist to become, like, to write recipes, or sorry, to write diet charts of people. And there is a system called CPD. So this is continued professional development, and based on the amount of career progressions you've made, the qualifications you've gained, you get CPD points according to that. And based on that, you can get the additional title. And there will be various nutritionist and dietitian roles, and you sort of have to report your professional progression to that organization, and they will give you the CPD, the title. And after that only you can apply to certain jobs. So I think the landscape will also vary from UK to Europe, but I think some of these qualifications are also translatable. Like if you have a R nutrition degree, like a registered nutritionist degree in UK, you can translate that into some other degree into Europe or into the USA. But you should be ready to write any qualifying exam as well. because I think USA has registered dietitian, but I'm not sure about that. So it varies country by country.
Okay, and they have asked some brief about R&D job opportunities.
Okay, so uh, very briefly, R&D jobs, you would have to have a certain number of years experience to go into an R&D job, in spite of the fact that even if you have a PhD. Because I myself was exploring PhD options over here, I know that even if you're a fresher, you need to have sorry, even if you have a PhD, you need to have some sort of industry experience before moving into senior R&D roles. So you, and also in R&D roles, you sort of need to have some background experience in the food category. I'll give an example. Say if you are applying to an R&D role in Nestle, say you're applying in a Nestle confectionery, you should have at least like 3 to 5 years experience in confectionery before working as a technologist, work so that you can claim that yes, I know the ins and outs of the business, I know the ins and outs of the commercial side, the innovation side, and I've done things like consumer management, I've done trend analysis, I've done um, samples, I've done uh, product improvement as well, and hence I want to move into the R&D role. R&D roles, you need to strategize your career experience to get into an R&D role. You definitely cannot get into an R&D role, at least here in the UK, as a fresher or with just 2 years experience in the industry. It needs a lot of experience, and you need to sell your skills as well, because bigger organization R&D roles will require you to demonstrate that. And I know people who still get rejected because somewhere there is some person who has an extra qualification or extra 2 years experience. So yeah.
Okay, I
So I
think
would like
just
to add something
one second, just
regarding.
1 second. Sanjukta, 1 second. I'll just say one thing. I think there are still more queries coming in. We cannot take up more. Sanjukta will be the last person to speak now because in next 5 minutes the StreamYard closes down on its own. Okay, so don't worry. If anything else is still unanswered, what I will do is I will go to the college channel and in the chat box I'll post there. And moreover, I will ask the speakers to give their contact information, and that also I will share there. So anybody wants to personally contact them over mail, they can contact them. Thank you, Sanjukta. You can continue.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to say about the R&D scenario in India currently. So MNCs like Mondelez or ITC, Nestle, this companies do hire R&D for freshers for R&D roles via college placements only. So they will visit colleges like ICT, CFTRI, NIFTM, DU, and hire students for R&D roles. Those will be junior R&D roles, but there is always a scope of growth within the company. So I think that is there in the Indian scenario as of now.
Okay, so I think most of the students have understood whatever queries they had. It has been answered. Some are saying it's very interesting and informative session. So thanks to all of you actually for that. And I hope feedback form is visible to everybody. It has been posted, I can see. Yes, so all of you please fill the feedback form correctly. Otherwise, it is difficult to provide the e-certificates. Anything else you want to add on, Anushri, Sanjukta? We still have 4 minutes to go. If you want to
And
add on.
is
So
there
this is
any
how
more
we'll be
questions?
keeping
I'm
track
happy
of
to answer
time.
questions.
Yeah, questions. I think it has been answered because I think Sanjukta's presentation was so concise. It had everything that
Yeah.
anybody could have asked for. So it was perfect. I can't see any questions right now. Everybody is busy filling up the feedback form.
Yeah.
Somebody has said it's an awesome session. Thank you for arranging it. Okay. It will be helpful if we get PDFs of these sessions. So as I said, Google Slides, you can make it into Google Slides or convert it into PDF as it is possible for you. Share it with me. What I'll do is I'll go to the channel and post it in the chat box. so that everybody can access it and they will be benefited from this, because it was really many of them have written it was wonderful or great session, informative session. Scope of master in dietetics abroad, I think that has been covered, right? That has already been covered. Which industries offer internship? I think Sanjukta, you have covered this, right? Which industries are offering internship? You have already covered this. So I think everything is covered. There is nothing else needed anymore. So thank you again for all your time.
Yes.
Okay. I
Thank
think we'll end
you.
it here. Thank you.
Thank you all.